These are 3 phone cases that have gone through extensive testing throughout this video. And this is a 3,000-pound car. And today I'm going to be running over these phones with this car and see which one survives. So let's do it. Wait, stop. We can't run over the cases yet. First, we have to show them the rest of the testing that we've already done. So let's go and do that.
The first test that we are going to be doing isn't really a test. It's kind of just introducing each of the cases and talking about their specs, so to speak. So let's get to the first case. This is the Impact Strong iPhone 7 and 8 case in the gunmetal variant. It is made out of TPU, polycarbonate, and aluminum, which I think will give it a quite strong build that will be malleable and not brittle, which I think is something that you do want for a good case. Because of that, I rated it quite high on our strength measuring scale. And for price, $15, which is actually pretty good for a case. It's about like the normal to cheap sort of price range for a case. So I think overall this case is pretty good. I've used it in the past and it's pretty good. Let's move on to the next case. This is the KJYFOANI, or Kiyofani. I guess that's maybe how you pronounce it. Nothing Phone 3A case. And it's actually pretty great. I actually have another case that's, I think, from a similar or a different brand, but it's basically the same. It's just the same case. It has the same little bumper edges and everything. And it's actually a pretty great case for the Nothing Phone, all things considered, because yes, this case is the cheapest one on our list at $10. So actually a very respectable price, all things considered. It's very strong because of its transparent TPU shell, which means that it is extremely flexible and extremely malleable, which means it doesn't really break or anything. An all-around really good case for $10 based on first impressions. Now let's move on to the third and final case, and it might be the one that I'm most excited for. This is the Crave Google Pixel 8 Pro case, and it is the sponsor of this video. So I was sent out this case by Crave. They asked me to review it, and I thought the best way to talk about a case and talk about how its qualities and some of the things that might be improved on it is to put it in a case testing video and put it up against other cases that are around the similar price range. So this is for the Google Pixel 8 Pro, and it is another multi-layer case with TPU on the inside and a hard plastic on the outside that I actually wasn't able to figure out what it's made of, but it's just some hard plastic. I will say, like I have said, before earlier with these other cases, I have been explaining constantly that a brittle case is not necessarily something you want, and I'm worried this one will be a little bit too brittle. So I put it at normal strength. Otherwise, the multi-material is great. The buttons feel very, very good and responsive, and the texture on the back is awesome. I love it. It also means that it doesn't fall out of your hand as much as something like this. And that's actually one of the problems that I have with this case, is that it's just really slippery. This one from Crave, awesome. I really like it. Shout out to them for sending it out to me, as well as other products I've been sent out the past by them. They're really great. And the price is the most expensive case, but I do honestly think it's worth it for what you're getting here. $17. Pretty good, sometimes on sale for around $15, but $17 is the regular retail price for this case. So yeah, pretty good. Now let's get on to the first test, which is the sledgehammer test. And I'm really excited for this one. So let's go.
All right, so the first test here is the sledgehammer test. So we have a sledgehammer here, and we're going to drop it on here from different heights, starting with 1 foot up, or approximately. So here we have the first case, and drop it from about 1 foot. Okay, so basically no damage, just some dirt. Let's go to 2 feet. And basically the same thing. This is holding up really well. And finally 4 feet. 4 foot test in 3, 2, 1. Man, I mean, it's basically totally fine. It actually, oh wow. It actually is dented in quite a lot here. You can see it's starting to bow out. And man, that's kind of crazy. This case did pretty well apart from a major dent. Let's go on to the next one. So our next case, we have the metal case, and I think this one's gonna do pretty well. 1 foot. Whoa! All right, so we have some major dents here on the 1 foot drop. I mean, that is crazy. It's actually really malleable metal, but I guess we should still move on regardless. All right, about 2 feet. Test in 3, 2, 1. I did in about the same spot and about the same damage, just kind of an extra dent. Let's move on to 4 feet. 4 foot test in 3, 2, 1. Oh man! Oh, we have some metal that is cracked right here. Now that is some damage on it. I mean, this case is kind of destroyed apart from the silicon part, and if we take this off, look at the back. I mean, that is really, really destroyed here. So yeah, this case did not do great. It's time to test the third and final case, which I think is going to do pretty well. All right, so here we have our third and final TPU clear case, and I think it's going to do really, really good. 1 foot test in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we have some damage here on, of course, my little pop socket here. But other than that, I mean, this case is totally fine as expected. Let's go to the 2 foot. Try to drop it here in a better spot. Right on the cameras, and as I expected, literally nothing to the case. Let's go to 4 feet. All right, 4 feet in 3, 2, 1. And again, this case is totally fine, apart from the pop socket I have here, which is a little bit destroyed here. I mean, you know, this case is just totally fine, because anything that hits it just flexible. It's flexible. So yeah, I think this case did the best. But I have one more final test for this full test. For this test, we're gonna smack all 3 as hard as possible and see what happens to each one. All right, here we go. Metal case, as hard as I can. Metal case, as hard as I can. Oh, man. And just some more severe denting. And actually, this is just completely come off. It's so bent that it doesn't even stay back on. That is crazy. A lot of damage here. Let's go on to the next case. All right, so that was a lot of destruction. Let's try the Crave case over here. Whoa! Okay, this plastic is totally broken and it's really cracked. I mean, you can see it's super brittle, cracked all over here and over here, and the inside is totally fine. But man, a lot of damage to the case, and you can kind of hear it cracking and pieces are flying out. Not great. And the final one, which I think nothing will happen to it apart from that little pop socket I have on here. All right, 3, 2, 1. And as I suspected, 0 damage to the case. I mean, 0. It's just really dirty. But I mean, this case is totally fine. This is an incredible performance, honestly, for the case so far in the first test. So yeah, that was the sledgehammer test. Now let's move on to the next one. So here we are at the next test, which is the sharpness / abrasion test, where we have 3 levels to this test, starting with a screwdriver, and then some keys, and then going up to a pocket knife, which will definitely do a lot of damage. So let's start with the screwdriver, and we're gonna try both ends of the screwdriver, both Phillips and flat. So if you just happen to have it in your pocket, let's say. So first on the Crave case, Phillips, or the flathead, is doing quite a bit of like damage to the look of it. It's kind of, but if you notice, when I scratch it up, I can just kind of wipe it away. So not a lot of deep scratches on here. And then the Phillips does the same thing. It's just like some dust that gets wiped away. Let's try it with the metal one. And Phillips not doing anything. Flathead. Really try to mix it up. Some tiny, tiny minor scratches right there. Some very, very small scratches. Let's see over there. And then finally on here, probably not a lot of scratches. Flathead, nothing. Phillips, nothing. So far, this is my, I think this one's gonna do the best based on what I've seen so far. But let's move on to the keys, and we're gonna be doing a test on the front and on the sides of the case, because it can be a little different. So again, some kind of wipe away scratches over here. And then on the side, if we just kind of try to, create some friction here. Again, basically nothing, just some wipe away, residue. Let's try on here. Nothing. And on the sides, basically nothing. All right, pretty good performance. And then with the keys, nothing on the front of the case or the back, and nothing from these keys. All right, so again, so far still standing. I think this one's the best. But let's see what happens after the knife, because that could make a big difference. Ooh, yeah, some deep, deep gashes into it. You can really dig into it, and that is that is some really, really deep cuts there. And we can even almost cut into the inside of it. That's that's going really deep into the case, and we can even try on the back here with the knife. It actually doesn't do much here, but yeah, on the front, because of this hard material, it's just not really resistant to scratches. So it's really, that is some destruction there. Then we will try the metal case. Yeah, the same thing. Even with just the lightest touch, it scratches it. So also not great. And then on the corners, about the same thing. I'm actually able to get some deeper cuts out of it on the corner there. And then finally, we have to try the TPU case right here. Really try to break it. Ooh, wow. Yeah, some of these, it really gets scratched. Some of these scratches are like unbelievably deep right there. It's a lot of damage done to this too, and otherwise pretty strong case. That is really, 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 really bad. That's that's probably a micrometer into the surface of this. So, what's the verdict? I think that the best performing case is actually this metal hybrid one. It did pretty well on everything else. Basically no scratches from anything except for the knife. And the knife, the cuts were pretty deep, but not too deep. So I think 3 points. And then we have 2 points for this one here. It's just, the cuts are insanely deep, and that would really impact the performance of the case over a long period of time. And then this one I do think is the worst performing. It got scratched by basically everything a little bit, of course most by the knife, And yeah, I think you would be able to still use this one as you would with all these, but I just don't have a lot of confidence in this one, and it's just not very scratch resistant. So yeah, 3 points, 2 points, and 1 point. Let's move on to the next test. It's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. The moment when we drive over all these cases with this car. Now let's do it. What happened to them? Basically nothing apart from the damage that's already there. Basically nothing apart from the damage that's already there. And basically nothing apart from the damage that's already there. Well, that was boring. That's it for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.